Hello, good day, Miss Nindya. I am Citra Novita from class KM 102. I'm with my friends.
Nadia?
Okay, today we will talk about environment. Thank you. Hello, Nadia. Thank you for joining me today. First, can you tell us what you do in Hong Kong and how long you have been here?
Hi, Chitra. It's my pleasure. I've been working in Hong Kong as a domestic helper for about 2 years now, and I take care of a wonderful family, which includes household chores and looking after a baby.
When you first arrived in Hong Kong, what was the most of striking difference in environment compared to our hometown in Indonesia?
Oh, definitely the pace and the density. Everything moved so fast here. The first thing I noticed was the air. I feel different to breathe, sometimes heavier compared to the air in our village, which is always filled the scent of plants and trees. Also, the sheer number of the tall building quite overwhelming.
Speaking of the sheer number of buildings, is there any nature or green space you can enjoy in your daily life in Hong Kong?
Yes, actually, Hong Kong has many beautiful country parks and hiking trail. On my day off, I often go with friends to places like Victoria Peak or Dragon's Back. Like in Indonesia, especially at home, nature is just there in my backyard or street or everywhere.
How about waste and cleanliness on the streets? What difference do you see?
Hong Kong street in the central areas are very clean and systematic. The recycling system is also more organized. In my neighborhood in Indonesia, cleanliness can be more community effort.
From your experience, what is the biggest environment challenge in Hong Kong?
I would say resource consumption because life is so convenient here. Air conditioning is a must. Everything is packaged, light are always on. It feels like a lot of energy and resources are used constantly. It's efficient but consume a lot.
How was living in Hong Kong changed your own habits regarding the environment?
I've become much more conscious. I'm very careful with water and electricity now because utilities are expensive here. I also carry a reusable shopping bag always, which is a common practice here.
Is there anything from the environment in Indonesia that you miss the most?
I deeply miss the sound of nature, the constant chorus of the bird at the dusk, and the sound of heavy rain on a tin roof. So, and here the dominant sound are the traffic, air conditioner, and the hum of the city.
Finally, based on your unique perspective, what is the one lesson about environment that Indonesian can learn from Hong Kong?
Oh, that's great question. I think Indonesia could learn from Hong Kong efficiency and the system, like organized public recycling, reliable public transport that reduce chaos, and also public education and conversation in a modern urban context.
Thank you so much, Nadia, for sharing this wonderful insight. It was fascinating to hear your perspective.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to talk about this. Thank you.
Hello, allow me to introduce myself. I am Citra Novita. I am a student at Asia Cyber University, majoring in communication. Thank you for being here. Today, I want to share something different, not just data or theories, but a story about two worlds, one Earth. Why I choose this environmental topic? Because personal connection and lived experience. My interview is someone I know personally. Her stories bridge two countries I care about, makes environmental issues feel real, not abstract. I will present it now. Nadia's profile. She worked as a domestic helper in Hong Kong for 2 years, cared for a family and their baby, and she is from a rural village in Indonesia. First impression for her is about speed, air quality, and urban landscape. Okay, she said for speed is like everything going fast, and the air quality struck her as heavier, contrasting sharply with the fresh, clean air of her village. The urban landscape, the towering skyscraper, and dense urban environment left a lasting impression of modernity and busyness. From daily green space and cleanliness, access to nature, Hong Kong has managed country parks and hiking trails, like in Victoria Park on Dragon Backs. About cleanliness and waste management, Hong Kong very clean and systematic in central area, organized public recycling system. In Indonesia, cleanliness relies more on community effort. We call it gotong royong. Environmental impact. Biggest environmental challenge in Hong Kong is high resource consumption, driven by a convenient and efficient lifestyle, constant like air conditioner, packaging, and lighting. Efficiency comes with a ecological cost. For reflection, what is most missed from Indonesia? Nadia said is like nature sounds. In Indonesia, the chirping of bird at dusk creaks, and then the city noise in Hong Kong. Conversely, Hong Kong's urban clutter of traffic and bustling sound often drown out natural serenity, leading to stress. Lesson for Indonesia. What can Indonesia learn from Hong Kong? First is system and efficiency, especially in organized public recycling. 2, reliable public transport to reduce reliance urban on private cars. 3, public education on conservation, a modern urban context. Indonesia could learn from Hong Kong's efficiency and system. So, key conclusion about modernity, tradition, and exchange. Modernity, the paradox of modernity reveals a balance between tradition, values foster a deep connection with nature, promoting mental well-being and sustainable. And exchange, knowledge exchange between cultures and lead to innovative solution and sustainable development practice. So balance is key. The efficiency and system of advanced urban centers, the organic connection and community awareness of life to nature. So final thoughts, Nadia's story reminds us that environmental sustainable isn't just about technology and policy, but about human adaptation, memory, and hope. Thank you for your attention.